Mama Lou was kneading dough in her kitchen when she heard people screaming outside. She didn't like the screams. The sounds were too scary, just like someone was being hurt. Nobody in the village knew why she was called Mama Lou, for she had never been married, nor had kids to fill her house with noise and fun. She had always been a bit of a mystery to the locals. No one really knew how old Mama Lou was. The lines on her face told stories of many sons, so everyone in the village guessed she was something over 40. Neither did anyone know much about her past or where she came from. One day, many years back, she had simply arrived in the village and made herself a life in a little house at the end of the village by the lake. She wasn't close with anyone in the village. While not unliked, she wasn't the soul of the village either. Villagers knew her mostly for her home-baked bread, which she sold at the local market. This bread was unlike any other. Soft, flavorful, and always fresh. No one knew how she made it taste so good. And despite their curiosity, Mama Lou kept the recipe a secret. But that didn't stop the villagers from enjoying it. They would always come back for more, for it was the most delicious bread they had ever tasted. So, there she was, in her small kitchen in the house by the lake, kneading dough for her delicious bread, when she heard the screams. Mama Lou, her strong arms dusted in flour to the elbow, paused and listened. The noise was unmistakable, yells of anger and distress that didn't belong in the gentle morning sounds. Quick as a flash, she abandoned her dough and moved towards the door. Exiting her house, Mama Lou saw the young man in the middle of a fight, getting hit by a few villagers. Even though he was in trouble, he looked noble and brave. Mama Lou yelled out, "Enough!" Her voice was so strong and scary that it made everyone freeze. The villagers knew she meant business when she raised her voice like that. They stopped right away and ran off, leaving the young man by himself. Mama Lou quickly went to help the young man on the ground, seeing him hurt and upset. She didn't care that the people in the village didn't like her much. She only wanted to help. His look of thanks mixed with hurt made her feel warm inside, even though she usually kept to herself. In her home, Mama Lou gently cleaned his scratches and put bandages on them. She knew just what to do, and her hands were soft, but sure, caring for him like a mom does for her kid. While she put a bandage on his hand, she couldn't help seeing the strong muscles under his skin. He tried not to show how much it hurt, but she could tell he was the kind of person who doesn't give up, even when times get tough.
Thank you.
He looked at her with a twinkle in his eyes.
I never imagined your house would be so small, with the bread you bake smelling like a whole bakery.
Mama Lou chuckled. Well now, my bread might fill the air with plenty of promise, but it's just me here to fill the house. Size has never been a thing to bother me. She peered at him, her gaze softening as it met his, which shone with a quiet gratitude for the refuge she'd granted. You know, I just realized something, Mama Lou said with a slight tilt of her head. I've been tending to you, and I don't even know your name. He straightened his back, his posture reflecting the respect he had for her and her home.
Jamal,
he replied simply.
On this favor of yours, Mama Lou, I'll carry it with me longer than the scars.
Mama Lou's eyes twinkled in response. You look like a serious young man, Jamal, so I have no doubt about that. She paused for a moment, watching him with a mix of curiosity and warmth. Tell me, Jamal, what is it that you do? And if it isn't too bold a question, how many years have you seen in this world?
I'm 21.
He began with a small nod.
And I live with my 2 brothers. But to be honest, they don't pay me much mind, and we barely scrape by together.
He glanced around the room, taking in the simple comforts of Mama Lou's home.
Most of my time I'm out and about helping where I can. Odd jobs, you know? If someone needs a hand with fixing a roof or tending to their fields, I'm their man. It's nothing fancy, but it keeps me busy and gives me a sense of purpose. By the way, do you know why they were chasing me? They got all riled up because I mixed up their orders at the cafe.
Jamal chuckled, the amusement clear in his voice.
I served Mr. Adebi's spicy soup to Mr. Afosa, and vice versa. A small mistake, but with their fiery tempers, well, it turned into a bigger deal than it should have.
Jamal just laughed and shrugged.
Guess that's just part of the deal with the jobs I do around here. One wrong move and it's like an adventure movie, with me being the main star running from everything.
They both burst into laughter, sharing a funny moment as they pictured the scene all over again. Mama Lou watched Jamal, a touch of admiration glowing in her eyes. There was something about this young man that she couldn't quite put her finger on. He was like a young tree, bending in the wind but not breaking, carrying a spark, a life force that was palpable. His spirit had reached out, and somehow touched hers in a way she couldn't understand. As late morning turned the small room golden, the scent of warm bread filled the air. Mama Lou handed Jamal a piece of the fresh loaf and watched as he took a bite, his eyes lighting up with delight. They ate in comfort, sharing the simple meal like old friends. When the time came for Jamal to head back, he stopped by the doorway and turned to Mama Lou with a grateful look.
You know,
Jamal said, his voice soft and kind.
Your bread isn't just good, it's like sunshine for my belly. Thanks for making my day brighter.
Mama Lou gave him a smile and wrapped up a piece of her special bread for him to take along. Here, for the road, she said, feeling a little flicker of happiness. Maybe it'll make the rest of your day sunny too. With the bread in hand and a thank you, Jamal stepped out into the bright day, carrying with him the comfort of Mama Lou's kitchen and the memory of a kindness that felt just like coming home. From that day forward, Mama Lou and Jamal found themselves spending more and more time together. They'd sit by the lake near her house, their feet skimming the cool water, just enjoying the quiet around them. The gentle murmur of the water made their talks feel more private and peaceful, as if they were the only two people in the world. Sometimes they'd get lost in books, chuckling as they took turns reading aloud, with Mama Lou's gentle voice and Jamal adding funny twists to the heroes' voices. They'd poke fun at the stories, acting out the parts and having a good laugh at their own silliness. There was something growing between Mama Lou and Jamal, something neither of them could quite put into words. They'd catch each other's eye and quickly look away, or share a smile that lingered a second too long. It was like a secret they both knew but didn't know how to tell, this feeling that quietly bloomed every time they were together. One sunny morning, Jamal strolled into the market where Mama Lou sold her bread. He had a surprise for her, a bunch of wildflowers he'd picked himself. They weren't fancy, but the bright colors danced in the sunlight, looking as joyful as he felt. Walking up to her stall with a grin, he handed her the flowers.
For the best bread maker I know,
he said, his eyes shining with something special just for her. Mama Lou couldn't help but smile wide, holding the flowers close. Anyone passing by could tell there was something sweet going on, and it wasn't just the smell of fresh bread in the air. As Jamal handed Mama Lou the flowers, a ripple of laughter spread among the stalls. Folks pointed and whispered, finding humor in the sight of a young man and an older woman sharing such a gentle moment. They nudged each other and snickered, making jokes about the age gap between them. As days went by, people in the village started to tease them more. Jamal and Mama Lou, who had started walking through the village hand in hand, heard a couple of the unkind jokes. A man named Bode, who liked to stir up trouble, called out loudly enough for everyone to hear, "Hey Jamal, does Mama Lou tell you bedtime stories after each date?" Laughter followed the question, with heads turning to share in the moment of ridicule. Another time, as they passed by the well, a group of women snickered, one remarking, "Looks like Jamal needed a mother's love so much, he went and found himself a new mama." Their cackles rose above the murmur of the village, sharp and pointed. But Jamal and Mama Lou didn't pay much attention to them. They knew what they enjoyed, and that was each other's company, simple and true, no matter what anyone said. That day, Jamal walked over to read with Mama Lou like they always did. But when he got there, she didn't have her usual big smile. She seemed quiet, not really in the mood for reading.
What's going on?
Jamal asked, worried.
You're not yourself today.
Mama Lou looked at him, her eyes gentle but a bit sad. Jamal, you've got so much ahead of you, she said. You can't stay in this small village forever. It's time for you to go out and see the big, wide world. Hearing those words, Jamal's heart missed a beat. It felt like it froze inside him. The thought of leaving Mama Lou and their special bond behind was the last thing he wanted to do.
Mama Lou, is it because of the villagers? Are their jokes getting to you?
He asked, his voice cracking a little.
Have you given up on me because of what they say?
Mama Lou gave Jamal a look full of warmth, her voice gentle yet full of conviction. Jamal, listen to me. I don't care one bit about what the village says. I am the author of my story. Others' opinions are just background noise, she assured him, squeezing his arm lightly. You've grown so dear to me, more than you know. She took a deep breath, her eyes shining with a mix of emotions. But that's exactly why you need to spread your wings. This village, it's too small for someone with your heart and smarts. You're young, you're bright, and the world has so much in store for you. I want you to experience everything it has to offer. And believe me, I know what I am talking about. She smiled as if remembering something. Then she continued, the feelings I have for you, they're the reason I have to let you go. Mama Lou's heart overflowed, and tears spilled down her cheeks. Jamal felt a lump in his throat, and tears came to his eyes too. In a quiet moment, they just wrapped their arms around each other and held on tight. As they stood there, they didn't say anything, but their hug said everything. It was full of all the care and heartache they both felt. As they stepped back from their embrace, Mama Lou wiped away her tears and reached into her apron pocket. She pulled out a small folded piece of paper and pressed it into Jamal's hand. This, she said, her voice a quiet whisper but strong with emotion, is the recipe for my bread. The one you love, the one everyone in the village can't get enough of. She looked into his eyes, so full of life, and yet so pained at the thought of leaving. Whenever you miss me, whenever you need to feel at home, just bake this bread. With every bite, it'll be like I'm there with you. All right? Her smile was sad but brave, a perfect reflection of the love and sacrifice woven through her decision to let him go. Mama Lou saw Jamal ready to leave and quickly filled a basket with her homemade bread. She gave it to him. These are for you, to keep your belly and heart full on your journey, she said with a soft smile. Jamal took the basket, feeling its warmth.
I'll be back for you,
he promised, trying to sound strong.
You won't get rid of me that easily.
He stepped outside, the basket in his arms, and walked a few steps before looking back. Mama Lou was still standing there, her presence comforting even from a distance. With a deep breath and a nod, he walked on, the promise to return hanging in the air between them. Love's like holding a bird in your hands. You might want to keep it close, hold it tight, because it's precious to you. But real love, the deep kind, means opening your hands, letting that bird fly, cause that's what it's meant to do. Love's about wanting what's best for the one you care for, even when it's hard, even when it means letting go. It's in those tough choices, those selfless moments, that true love shows its face. And sometimes, love means standing at the doorway, giving them the freedom to find their own sky. I've really loved telling you this story, and I'm glad you were here to hear it. Thanks for being with me. I hope the story's lessons stick with you and bring good things your way. If you like the story, please follow my channel. Your support means the world to me and encourages me to make more stories for you. Wishing you lots of love and success in everything you do.